At least one person has died and over 1,000 shacks have been destroyed in a fire at the Kennedy Road Informal Settlement in Durban. The Gift of the Givers say the blaze broke out in the early hours of this morning, and the humanitarian aid organization is helping those affected by the fire. As mentioned, we have our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, who is there, and he joins us live now for an update. Siphamandla, good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. You're still at the scene. Give us an update in terms of the devastation of the fire and the assistance that has been provided for victims.
Indeed, it's absolute devastation, and there is no way to explain what has taken place here except to say it's tragic. And people have been left homeless. At least for now, there is confirmation of one person who has died. We are told that 5 were taken to hospital in the early hours of the morning. The only thing that these residents of Kennedy Road can do for now is just to ask for more help. Nkanyiso Mdlalose will show you on my right. They are busy being registered now and being processed as they are trying to rebuild their lives here. They are being helped by community leaders as well as disaster units that are coming to the area to assist them in trying to collect information so that they will be able to know how many people need help, what kind of help do they need. But it will take a number of days, even weeks, to rebuild here. But for now, what I can tell you is that a number of people are trying to rebuild their lives here, trying to rebuild their houses, because the biggest challenge now is where are they going to sleep tonight and what are they going to eat. And that's the most unfortunate part about it. Earlier on, we spoke to one of those who was able to help in terms of calling the firefighters when the fire broke out. Let's take a listen to her.
Ukhona umuntu oshonile, umuntu wesilisa kuma early 30s, uconfirmed sile sayombheka safike eshonile esembhedeni wakhe. Yes.
So what is currently happening in terms of assisting community members here? It appears as if kuzodingeka more help in terms of ensuring that people have shelter, food and other essentials.
For now, we are busy with the private sector, NGOs, but disaster management ukhona on site wenza verification uyabhalisa abantu. Islamic Relief has come naye, South African Red Cross ukhona, Gift of the Givers sesimbonile, akhona namanye ama-partners ase-confirmile ukuthi ayeza, but the problem is funeka isibalo sabantu ukuthi bangaphi. Sisazama ukuspeculate basithini isibalo sabantu. Kodwa ngokwe-understanding yethu ne-estimation ibisithi 1,500 is plus minus izindlu esezitshile.
Okay. There are also reports of some people who were taken to hospital. Can you confirm that? What do you know about that?
Yes, 5 people were taken to hospital last night, even early hours of this morning, because about 2 ben bizeli ambulance bebeshile basesesibhedlele. Another 2 ndabizi ambulance omnye be inhale smoke. So bamnebulizer bahamba naye omnye injured. So omnye uhamba this morning uhamjiswe imoto yangaphakathi wahamba. So about 5, but there are people who are still missing. Esingabazi babaphi nengane na 3 to 5 years.
Now, Siphamandla, you also spoke to the Red Cross earlier, who one of the organizations assisting on the ground. We've heard that the Gift of the Givers were also quick off the mark in bringing humanitarian relief. What did the Red Cross have to say?
Well, they are saying what they are doing for now is to get more information, working with other stakeholders and agencies together with the Gift of the Givers. Then after that, they will rely on disaster units to say who needs help, what kind of help do they need. But they do concede that this is a disaster. Let's take a listen to Mr. Siyabonga Hlachwayo from the Red Cross.
Since the morning, we received reports that there's been this fire incident. We've activated the team that is actually preparing hot meals. We've also opened our stores for relief. We are going to be coming in to distribute mattresses, blankets, and hygiene packs. So we are also appealing to the public for more support, as we are seeing that this is quite devastating, and this is actually a disaster, as we are saying. If we are looking at about 1,000 shacks have been burned, that means we are looking at about 3,000 people that could be displaced. So it's quite concerning, and we are trying to mobilize as much support as we can.
So, Amanda, I mean, the environment there is also conducive to this kind of fire spreading quite rapidly because of the close proximity of these shacks as well. At this stage, do we know the cause of the fire and what plans there may be to either relocate the affected victims, or is it just going to be another situation where they rebuilt and the same situation could occur in future?
And indeed, I can tell you that this is not the first incident. During the course of my career as a journalist, I've covered a number of fires here on Kennedy Road, and this is one of them. It looks serious, it looks devastating. In previous incidents, there have been no loss of life, but sadly, this time around, one person has been confirmed to have passed away and a number of people have been injured. The environment is not conducive. Even those shacks that are still, or rather the structures that are still standing here, you can see how close they are to each other. So if and when there is a fire, most of these structures are bound to be affected and for the fire to spread quick. I guess it's the issue of multiple factors that need to be addressed, and one of those being the issue of the provision of houses in eThekwini municipality, but most importantly, to try and discourage a number of people from coming into big cities that are regarded as economic hubs because they are looking for jobs. You can't say to them, don't come to eThekwini, which is the economic hub of KwaZulu-Natal, unless you deal with socio-economic challenges across the province. You develop rural areas, because the majority of people who are here, they are from far-flung areas throughout KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape and other provinces, even from outside of this country. So you've got a number of people who live in these structures who are here for economic opportunities because of unemployment, poverty and inequality. They settle where they find any piece of land or shack to build, and they settle there. So to address this from happening in the near future, I guess it's the issue of providing houses, but most importantly, addressing socio-economic challenges that will see people flocking into big cities. And when there is a disaster such as this, you are bound to have such a situation.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you indeed for that update. That's senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, who's at the Kennedy Road Informal Settlement, where a number of shacks, over 1,000, have been burned down in fires that started or broke out early hours of this morning. The sheer devastation of the people who are now left homeless, not having an idea where they will lay their heads later this evening or what they will be eating. That's a very sad occurrence there, and we'll touch base with Siphamandla Goge as we get more information.